Hey everybody, this is Jeff from Jeff's Garden, Vegetable Garden and Containers and Projects. Just so you know, we did bought some buttonwood plants here for the back area. Excuse me, I'm taking my microphone, some of this stuff off because my phone's on a fritz. It's real bad. I still got to get another one. But we bought 40 buttonwood bushes to go with our clusias. We have that back. We got a butterfly bush here that was on sale, and another one of these, and I'm trying to remember the name, and this might help because it's got tags on them still. Another Hawaiian tea. So got them pretty much on sale and good prices. So I got to get these in soon, but I might not put them until mid next week, like Wednesday and after, because going for more cold weather, and I'm not covering everything up again. It drove me kind of nuts covering everything up and then losing stuff. So we'll go with it. But they end up getting tall, just like these are. But I want to get one out back to go with everything. Most of the stuff is starting to recover. Still having some issues with stuff in the garden. You can see the grapes and the squashes and stuff are starting to come up pretty good. The lettuces, my wife gets some off there just about every night. Potatoes and onions look real good. The tomatoes are struggling a little bit, but she picks them every day. You can see the purple flower in there. That eggplant's coming back again. You can see the peppers here. I want to pull it off. It's not ready. You can see the size of that pepper there. One growing up here too. These other ones back here, these golden ones are coming back. So little by little, I'm not too happy with this pepper here, but these things are pretty old. The jalapenos are coming back nice. The cauliflower is all done. I picked 3 more heads of it 2 days ago for my wife. So we had 5 massive heads of cauliflower. No, 4. 1, 2, 3. It's like 6 or 8 of them, but they grew real great. So I cut them out. And what I got in here now is I got some cabbage growing. So I want to see how that does down here. All the peppers are starting to come back now. You can see the tomato back in here. That's a plum tomato. They're starting to grow nice. It's not getting that big, but hey, they're starting to turn a little bit red. So I'm gonna have to cover them. These potatoes are growing great. They're starting to die back a little bit now, so they're not far out there. Only a 90-day one in there. You can see there's 6 or 7 eggplants on that one that came back after I redid it. That one over here has got eggplants coming back on it now too. This pepper's now starting to put out new peppers again. And what I did was I put bone meal and blood meal on them after all the weather, and I've been watering them, so we seem to be starting to come back. You can see this purple pepper down here. I already picked a bunch of those. This potato here is a 90-day potato too, but it's a little bit coming back. You can see the peas are starting to come up in there. Nice back in there. These are more squashes and stuff here. Get rid of this leaf. Keep these dead ones off here if I can get it. Pull them off. But these are all growing pretty good right now out of the buckets. So I'm just keeping an eye on them to see how they work out, because even if you've got cold weather coming in, squash is real good in the warmer weather. The green bell, got one there. I got one up here, and this one's starting to come back. So everything's doing pretty good. You can see another type of bell in there, but it's an orange bell. It's coming back. This pepper here, this is a shishito. There's one growing down here, but I'm going to cut this back. All the dead stuff off, I'm going to cut back out of here and then let it start all over again. Cucumbers are starting to come up nice, so I have to move that away from that plant a little bit because they'll be growing inside there, and I want them to grow up inside the cage. I got another, I think that's a yellow squash right there. It's coming in nice. These ones you don't see anything in, they're all seeded. And I can't remember what I seeded everything with, so we'll see when they all come up. We got another one there. They'll all come up here soon this little bit of cold weather coming up is going to delay a little bit of stuff. This pepper I got to trim back. It's another jalapeno, see small in there. There's a couple in there, but I got to cut that like halfway down, and it's starting to flower, but I got to cut it way back. So, because you see the stalk down there, it's almost like a tree now. So I need to cut that back and keep that ready to go and keep producing till a certain time. And you can see the red jalapenos over there. Potatoes are all looking good. You see this one starting to wheat back a little bit here. That one over there, those potatoes. So the ones that are more greener like this one are 120 days that are growing in here. More onions in there. You see them growing real nice. So I would say in the next 2-3 weeks, probably 2 weeks, once these potatoes by more, I'll empty the buckets and we'll be able to show you what we got out of all those things. And this is the grapes and the squash and zucchini and stuff there again. Give a little look over here. You can see all the bushes and everything are doing good. I'm keeping up with the watering on all that. You can see them starting to flower, the strawberries now again. Gotten quite a few up, the mint, the cilantro and different stuff, basil. You can see there's another broccoli coming up in there now, so that one won't be too long before that one's out. Raspberries are looking good. You can see them starting to grow on there now. You can see that bush, it is just loaded with blueberries. So just waiting for them to ripen up and get moving and finished up. And I have to shut this water off out here to these rubber trees. I'm watering them out here right now just to get caught up. And tell you, as you get older, you forget that you turn things on and off. It's kind of weird, and you happen to walk around the corner and let that water running forever. These are that's what I was watering, is these rubber tree limbs that I put in the ground, and they're starting to come back. I water them a little bit about every day or every other day. I just lose a drip hose on them, and they seem to be starting to come back. Everything else is looking pretty good, especially up around the house. I don't really have a lot of faith in this avocado coming back. I took all the leaves and the dead stuff off it, and it's still flimsy. It's not, like dead where it's breaking, but I just don't know. You see some of the stalks down there are green and a couple of leaves growing on it, so I got to see. I just don't have a lot of faith in it. That one took a big hit during the storms. This is a guava. This guava took a big hit. I took all the leaves off it, trimmed it back, and we'll just have to see. I'm going to give it a little more time, see if anything comes back at all. Otherwise, I'm going to take that guava out. The grapefruit there, is really doing good. You can see the oranges are already starting to come back on this little kumquat type of tree. Oranges are already, you can see one on the ground already fell off. There's another orange tree. Just had the bigger oranges on it earlier this year, but it's not ready yet, but you can see it starting to bud and flower. Hoping this cold weather don't get it too bad. You can see all the clusias back there. I trimmed them all back, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 10 of them really took a hit in the cold. The other ones I cleaned up and got as much dead stuff as I could off them, but there's 4 or 5 in the middle that really took a hit. It has some life still in it, and I can see some green in the stems on these, but I'm just going to have to little by little fold them and see if I can get them to come back. They were really doing great, and they were up to about 3 foot, and I'm hoping to get them up to like 5 or 6 feet to get that boundary for the fence up with some height and get them about 4 foot wide. Everything's doing real good back here. Nothing got affected by the weather back here. And down that end, down there where those clusias end, there's probably another 15 feet or so to the fence. And that's where I'll be putting the last 4 buttonwoods, because they get max like 8 foot tall, but I'll control them at like 5 or 6 feet and trim them as they get bigger. And you can see this close here, this thing was huge. And I had to cut it way back to get rid of the dead stuff off it, and it's starting to look a little better now. The papayas, I cut the tops of the trees off. I got sick of the dead stuff, and they're not doing anything yet. So I have a new papaya I got out front. I'll keep an eye on these things. And you can see this papaya here. Cut everything off the top. We'll see, it's a nice thick tree. I got a feeling it'll come back, but I trimmed all this off. And it's still rigid up there. It's not soft or anything up top there. So I'm hoping after a little bit of warm weather kicks in, maybe it'll start growing some. If not, I'll get rid of it. Just put, that's how I did all these with seeds. So I'm hoping if I got to, I'll do it with seeds again. See the banana starting to grow out of the top. I didn't think they would come back, but it is starting to come back. This one here. You can see that banana right there is starting to put some leaves out at the top, plus the baby pup down the bottom starting to leave. So very surprised. I didn't think they would make it back with the way they were doing in the cold weather, but we'll see. I think they're pretty damn more resilient than I knew, these banana trees. The mango you see, well, not with the sun in there, but that mango you can see is just looks like it's burnt. So we'll do what we can. And you can see that papaya there. Same thing. I trimmed the top off, and I'm going to see if anything comes back with it. If not, it's just another one I'll deal with getting back to where I had another hole dug by my dog. I don't know how I'm going to keep from killing myself in the shower when I bring her out late at night, because even though all the lights come on, she digs these monster holes. When you step in them, you're not ready. It's a real killer. This pink lime, still living. Not doing much, but I think when the warm weather comes, I'll be able to really watch that up. The orange is still looking good. The lime's looking good. This is the year that lime should start finally producing. Everything else here took a pretty good hit with a cold weather. It's been warm the last couple of weeks, and I can see it starting on down the very bottom there. You can see that one's starting to bud a little bit on the trunks. Lemon tree looks okay. Oh my gosh, here we go again. I can't think of the name of this thing right now, but I got like 4 or 5 of these trees in the yard, and it's starting to grow some leaves back to it now. So I think the majority are doing pretty good. My main ones are the avocado and the guava. Just look like I just don't know what they're going to do. I don't think so. But everything else is starting to recover. And the papayas, I got to see if they're going to come back also over time. But it's just a matter of keeping up with everything. Man, there's another one of them trees. I wish I could think of the name of them things. Oh, hibiscus. That one over there. One that's hardly leafing is hibiscus. This is hibiscus, and I got 2 or 3 in the front yard. Hey, see this tree, how it's all green on the bottom and burnt on the top? That took a big hit with a freeze, but I got lights wrapped around it. We see it at night to go along with the other lights along the house, so I'm not worried about it right now. I'm going to wait till it gets pretty doggone warm, then I'm going to probably trim it in half and then let it regrow, because that's been hit before and came back, and then I got to trim that bush down a little bit. But overall, most of the stuff has been pretty resilient, more than I thought. And I want to show you, I got some electric done here inside for a later time, and when I'm running my grow lights for the garden and everything, I want to be ready to go. So you can see this new switch here. I put in a receptacle. You see what that does? That turns those halogen type of lights on for me. It really brightens up the garage off the switch. They were just plugged into a receptacle, and I'd have to go to each cord, keep fooling with them all the time. And I don't want to get them off the switch, so what I did was, there's a 220 volt panel right there. So I wired into it to make it 110, and I put the 2 single breakers in there. One's a 15 and one's a 20. The 15 I ran off the switch through this seal tightened boxes here, so it runs here and behind the refrigerator over to here, then it runs up. And we got receptacles I put in there, 8 different color ones, but they go And I ran that wire all across the ceiling up here, up above the lights, and down this wall over here. So I got to build some shelves over here, and you can see this receptacle, double one I put in here. It's all powered up now. Down there you'll see that piece of seal tape there. It's already got the wires pulled. I'll have to put it on the receptacles, but I have to drill a hole through the concrete wall. And then outside mount, I'm going to mount an outdoor box with a GFCI on there, so I can have an outdoor plug on that end of the house. I have not gotten completely to that project, but all this tying into the panel, pulling all the wires with fish tapes, wiring the series circuit, tying everything up and putting the breakers in and everything. I got that done over the last 2 days. So we still have that white switch area that's on the wall next to the TAM, and that just does the old lights at this end of the garage. And I have more of those halogen type lights to put in out here. But now I have that switch runs back through a breaker, and then it's not tied into anything here. And what that does is that comes up into that receptacle. You don't see it. There it is right there. And the lights are plugged in there, so that I have the lights up to 15 amp, and they're just going to, that switch in that 15 amp going to run just the lights. And then I got, when the door goes down, I got 2 lights there, and then I got a light for right back here. I still have lights back in that area too. You know, past where I hung all that unistrut behind everything. I got lights back there too, like with the fishing rods on there, but they're more the fluorescent bulbs, and they're just kind of just have stuff in here. Maybe this green desk and some of the stuff over here that was on this side, and I'm still trying to get everything hung and put in place out here in the front. So it's just a matter of getting more done. I got more shelving and stuff to put in, but it's little by little. So I put that in along with this drawer cabinet and this dispenser here to hold all my stuff. And then up in here you'll see I got all the wiring and anchors and wire nuts and glues and all kinds of stuff up there, drills and drill bits. So there, put that shelf in to cover all that. Now it gives me a place over here to kind of work on projects. And when I was talking about putting in the grow lights, when I'm ready to grow the seeds with grow lights at times that I want to start, I can do it right here because I got grow lights in that great cabinet right there. I got a set of grow lights that I sit right in the trays, and then I'll be able to set them right here and then plug them in a receptacle. The reason I put more power in the garage and tied everything in was I have a receptacle right there, which is tied into a receptacle inside the house off a GFCI circuit, and there's times it's been plugged in before with something on it, and it blows it, then I lose my alarm and my GFCI. And so that, which plugged in there now, is just the refrigerator right here is plugged into that right now to keep it going, but eventually I'll have that out, and that refrigerator will get plugged on the other side where I'll put a plug in, and I'll have my own 20 amp circuit here to take care of everything. And I just drilled a hole in the wall and drain up and tie the wires back through the wall up here right into the panel with this seal tape. You can see everything's in the panel and up to code. And the only other receptacle we had in this garage was this one here behind the hanger where the bags are, and you can see the cord I have to run out to my fan. It's kind of a tripping hazard, so I wanted to get rid of that tripping hazard, so now I can put my fan anywhere and not have, when I was doing this project anyway, I just had wire, extension cords running all over. It was a pain in the butt to work and all that kind of stuff. There's my spool of leftover wire that I had run, but I got a Ruxworth number 12 white, black, and green for the ground. And everything's grounded and tied in, like I said, all running a series circuit. So you guys that don't know much about receptacles, when you put a receptacle in, they're going to bring the power, and I have to put the hot wires on one side, the neutral on the other, and try to ground the receptacle. This switch right here only has a black wire going to it, because all I'm doing is breaking the hot wire that comes into this junction box from out of my 2 breakers in this panel. And then what that does is that breaks, you don't see anything here, but it goes through this seal tight up to that receptacle up there and breaks. So it's just controlling the lights in here. And then while I was here, I put the receptacle on the other side and all these in. And it's the same thing if you look at these. This is just nothing more than neutrals on each side than hots on the other side. Ground's tied in, and then you jump these over in series, and then that runs over to this side and jumps into series over here also, back into that receptacle there, which I still have to run the GFCI outside. So it's only half-inch seal tight I ran and pushing 6 wires, so my fish was a bit of a pain in the butt, but finally got it done. Got it all wired in, so now I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 receptacles now. Now I've got receptacles on the top, the front, and the back of the north side out and the south side. Now I got power over here, so now I can move my drill boxes and different stuff and chargers all out here and mount them on the wall under there. That project still has to be completed over there. That's what I'll be starting on next. Mounting all the battery packs and putting stuff away because I made some room up. And you just got, generators, air compressors and vacuums and, and there's more of those lights right there I gotta put in, but it's just finding room for everything and then getting rid of these tubs that I have left. And that's my old shelf full of old supplies after I found all the wire and everything. I think I got about $400 involved in this. That's the stuff I had to buy. If I had to buy everything I needed, I'd have been talking probably around $2,000 to $2,500 to get everything done. And that's not including the labor, so that was all free. It's just because the materials I had to buy on top, which was like $400, so it's a good bargain for her and me, and now we got it done. So that's going to be it. I'll let you go, and when I eventually set these grow lights up and get things going to go along with the gardens and the stuff I got out on the trucks and everything out front and around the front of the house, I will give you an update and show you what I do with the grow lights and how I grow everything when I seed it like that. Recently I've been just seeding outside because it's been warmer and getting stuff to come up, but when it's colder it's kind of tough to do. Everything out here in the front, everything's starting to come back. It's looking pretty nice on everything. The palm trees, that palm tree on that far side over there, and there's one on this side, on the other side of the trailer where the vegetables are. They took a big hit. I just cut them back down to nothing. Now they're starting to come up out of the middle, so hopefully they'll last. And that's a fountain I had for years. I can power it up and let it run, but I sat it out here for the birds and cats. There's some strays out here that allows them to get some water and everything out there and keep everything growing. But I've planted everything in here, and everything seems to be growing pretty daggone good right now. My last phase will be that papaya, but I'm going to put that papaya out back and maybe put the butterfly bush out here that my wife got. And she's still got them lemons coming in. I got a ton of them on here, but that's the only one I see that's really yellow right now. And once they're done, I got to trim this bush way back because you got to trim your fruit bushes. But that's one of those buttonwoods right there. So, and half of that was messed up, and then there's another buttonwood down there that don't look too healthy right past the fountain, and that one took a hit. So I trimmed them back, and we'll see where they go from there. But otherwise, everything else is starting to look pretty good. And you can see that palm there. I had to cut it back. It was as dead as a doornail. I'd also got those cactuses over there too. So I'm just waiting for it to get real, real warm. We've had a couple 80 degree, 70-degree days for a week and a half now, and it's getting warmer, but they are calling for Monday, Tuesday to get pretty doggone cold down here. And then I think that's it after that. So we'll just keep an eye on everything, see how it keeps going and keep it up, see what comes back and doesn't come back. And that's a good part about Florida. A lot of stuff will come back, and then the stuff that don't come back, you just replace it. And our friends gave us this thing. They were using it to grow some stuff in our terracotta pots. You can see everything's growing pretty positive there. Some of these palms like that one there and this one over here, you can see some of them are coming back real nice right there, but you see that one there, that one down there. So I got to trim those off, the ones that got hit in the cold, but I might wait till next Wednesday. I'm trying to hold off. I got to cut the dead ones off, and then I cut that big bush that had all the beautiful flowers off it. I cut that one back also to almost nothing because everything was just dead on it. So I'll trim this one back probably mid next week after the weather gets by, and then let that start doing its growing process back over again, because I've had to trim quite a few of them back. This bush I trimmed way back. So we'll just keep working with it and get past it. And their guavas are looking good. I got another one out front there, a little guava. That's going to get big. So all this stuff looks puny and small in this added on garden I put in here, but once it all grows in, I'm going to have a monster of stuff out here, but that's what I like. But I can keep it trimmed in a certain way. All right, guys, well, see, it's sunnier now, starting to get dark. It's still sunny out where see the beautiful sky. Today was probably around 78 to 80. Lows at night are around 60, so it's real nice. Not looking forward to that other cold weather coming in, but we'll get through it for a couple days, starting early next week, and then we'll be right back to where we had to be. So I think we're in pretty good shape. Just wanted to check in about the garden and a few things, and the little electrical project we got involved with. And we'll just go from there and hopefully be able to keep up and keep going. All right, guys, don't forget to get a chance to like and subscribe and share the videos and enjoy them. And I'm going to let you go from here because I got to go in and get some other jobs done. All right, guys, have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.